What's the pettiest academic insult that turned into poetic justice? I was never the cool kid. I was the guy who sat in the second row, took detailed note, and corrected the teacher once, just one, which earned me the unofficial title of Try Hard Tim. But I didn't care. My mom worked 2 jobs so I could stay focused on school, and I promised her I'd get into a good college even if it wasn't flashy. Enter Madison. Madison was the queen of our high school, not prom queen, social queen. Her dad was a surgeon, her mom was a partner at some law firm, and she'd remind everyone that she was destined for the Ivies. She'd roll her eyes when I answered questions too fast. Once, she asked if I was applying anywhere real, or just settling for community college. When I said I'd be doing 2 years at a community college and then transferring, she actually burst out laughing. "Oh my God, Tim, that's like trying to get into the NBA through a backyard league." That stung, not because it was cruel, because people around her laughed. And in that moment, I realized something. Madison wasn't just a bully. She was a well-dressed bully, one who hid behind sarcasm and college brochures. So I stopped talking about my goals out loud. I studied harder, volunteered on weekends, took dual enrollment classes, and I worked part-time at the campus library while everyone else was at home playing Fortnite or chasing TikTok trends. I remember one day in March, while everyone else was comparing prom outfits, I was in the computer lab polishing my UCLA personal statement. I wrote about growing up watching my mom work night shifts, about our fridge breaking and having to eat cereal with powdered milk for a week. It wasn't a sob story, it was real. I wanted them to know who I was and why this mattered. Fast forward to May. College decision letters rolled in, and the air in school practically crackled with energy. Madison strutted around saying, "Yale's a safety," and I just smiled, carrying my transfer application result quietly in my backpack. Then one morning during homeroom, Madison walked in with puffy eyes. Her voice cracked when she said, "Some people got lucky, I didn't." She didn't get into any of her dream schools. Not Yale, not Stanford, not even NYU. Rumor had it her essay had been about overcoming adversity, and she'd written about losing her AirPods during a ski trip. Meanwhile, I got my transfer acceptance from UCLA's computer science program full ride. I didn't plan on telling anyone, but our English teacher made the announcement during class. "Everyone, let's congratulate Tim for being accepted into UCLA with a full scholarship. He'll be transferring after summer." The room clapped. Madison stared. Later that week, she cornered me by the lockers. "I didn't know community college kids could transfer to places like UCLA," she said, like I was some kind of rare animal. I just shrugged. "Guess it's the NBA of backyard leagues." She blinked, then actually smiled. "Okay, fair." I thought that was the end of it, but graduation came and so did the senior award. Madison still had one last surprise. The school counselor handed out a special certificate for most academic growth. I figured it'd go to some middle-of-the-pack student who had improved. Instead, he called my name, Timothy Owen, from underestimated to unstoppable. Madison clapped. I swear it was genuine. Then, right before walking off stage, she leaned over and whispered, "Teach me how to write a real essay sometime." I didn't say anything. I just handed her a business card I'd printed that week. It read, "Tim Owens, future UCLA grad, freelance editor, first-gen scholar." She laughed. "Guess you were always the smart one." And the best part? A few weeks later, I got a DM from Madison asking if I'd look over her transfer essay for a smaller private college. I helped. I charged her $40 an hour. She said it was worth every penny. Sometimes the best revenge is doing exactly what people said you couldn't. And sometimes poetic justice arrives in a cap, gown, and with Ivy League rejection letters sitting in someone else's lap.